everybody, and welcome to Dropkick News' wrestling podcast. Tonight we'll be reviewing NXT Takeover Respect. I'm Joe Puglisi, and I'm here with my co-host, Brian Smith.
Hello.
Alright, so first off, let me get your overall opinion on the full event.
Yeah, so obviously it was very good because all NXT shows are very good. In ring is probably some of the best in the entire United States. It's the best place for any of these wrestlers to go. It's like a dream job for them. I could tell just from watching stuff backstage from Finn and the woman, So anyway, I thought it was pretty good, although a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, all the matches were just kind of like there, with the exception, of course, of the main event and the match between Jason Jordan and Chad Gable and Baron Corbin and Rhino. That match was awesome.
That match was awesome. We'll get to that. But yeah, because the only thing is because I was kind of expecting something different, like something with Finn and Joe and something at the end. Instead, they opted to just, go for the feel-good moments, which is fine, but I don't know. I guess I shouldn't expect stuff like that. Get my hopes up, but we'll go into the first match.
All right, so the first match on the card was Finn and Joe versus Dash and Dawson. Finn opened up the night, and so they got in this match, and it was kind of lame.
Boring start.
It was boring, but they
heat.
need to preserve their energy for the upcoming match. Wow, so like both losing ends of the tag team tournament kind of gave it their all, while the winners just kind of like floated through the match because they got another like 15-minute match that they got to do.
And Dash and Dawson were clearly not going to win this match.
No, absolutely not.
But it was a nice showcase for them, I guess, being there with Finn and Joe. And I guess that's why they put them in there and opted not to go with the tag champions. And they looked pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it was
they can go.
I thought it was a pretty good match. They there were a few rest spots in the beginning, but it ended up picking up. And in the end, they hit the, what's it called? It was like the combination of both their finishers.
No, they didn't hit the Finn and Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were working his knee over at one point they hit him with a chop block, and Finn was selling his knee, but Joe decided to tag him in anyway.
Yeah. Instead of just ending it with a muscle buster, though, Dawson or whoever was taking the pinfall was not going to kick out of. But, Finn's got to do his job and go for the coup de grace.
And he hit
even with his bum
destroyed
ankle.
his knee in the process.
Yeah, bum knee.
And they won, which everyone knew was going to happen anyway. But
yeah,
at least they did something interesting with the finish there.
Real shocker.
Told the story.
And the next match then was the continuation of the semifinals of the Dusty Classic. That had Jason Jordan and Chad Gable facing off against Corbin and Rhino. And me and Brian were heavily one-siding rooting for Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, which along with
they were
most
so
of the,
over.
Along with pretty much the whole fan base there, but Corbin and Rhino managed to equal out the crowds
by the end.
Yeah, by the end. They ended up getting some of them on their side. Because I was talking with Brian earlier about how I didn't want anything to happen besides Jason Jordan and Chad Gable winning. But the ending where Baron Corbin hits a tilt-a-whirl end of days to Gable absolutely won me over.
Ridiculous.
It's one of those ridiculous spots where it's comparable to recently with Randy Orton hitting his Super RKO at WrestleMania. It doesn't matter if you like Randy or not. Like it was just so amazing, and it just had to end the match. It was just awesome.
Yeah, but Jordan and Gable are just they clearly Triple H sees something in these guys, put them in the final four of this tournament, and had them just tear it up. They both ripped out some cool moves. Corbin too. Corbin clearly shows that he can go, and he's going to be on the main roster before long, I would imagine. Wrestling, he could easily be a top guy soon. I really see it.
Yeah, you're right about Triple H giving these guys opportunities because Gable would absolutely not fly in like a standard WWE role. He does not have the look. He's really small. He's kind of got a goofy looking face, bit of a protruding forehead.
He has charisma and he knows how to work.
But he works a great match, and
so does Jordan. Frankly.
and his character is getting over immensely. And yeah, but Jordan's got it all. He's like super fit. He's got the look, and he's a great athlete.
They both are. Yeah, Gable pulled out the rolling chaos theory on Corbin, which is insane considering Corbin's 6'9", something like that.
Is he really
still
that
was
tall?
able to hit it around there, and he was still able to hit him with a rolling into a German suplex, and eventually Gore also killed Jordan got killed with a Gore by Rhino, which took him out of the match, which led to the crazy end of days. So yeah, very good match. Probably one of the best tag matches of the year in all of WWE.
Yeah.
Not much else to say.
So the next match was Dana Brooke and the debuting Asuka.
Love Asuka's theme. I was humming it the whole night.
And they talked about it last week, where Dana Brooke and Emma didn't really know what they were biting off.
What they were getting themselves into.
They got themselves into a huge mess, and Asuka really kicked their butt.
She killed them. Well, killed Dana.
Killed Dana. Oh, she did hit Emma that one time with like rolling back.
Yeah.
Like
back fist.
Back fist or
I don't know what those gloves were that Emma was wearing.
Oh, those are terrible.
But anyway.
They look like cones on her hand.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I don't know what. It looked like she was wearing gloves, but then just decided to roll them up and just keep them the way they were. Just keep them rolled up the whole
I don't know how they would even stay on. Like at that point, like you can't wear like half of a glove and expect it to stay on.
And it doesn't even look. There's no reason for it at all. It makes no sense.
No.
They're just on her hands. Anyway, Asuka apparently is a submission specialist because she pulled out about 8 different submission moves in this match.
Yeah. And she kept releasing them before it would be any appropriate time for Dana to tap out, and then she would just apply another.
I think the story I was trying to say is that Dana actually did research Asuka and was able to that way it was able to get out of some of these submissions.
I don't know about
escape
that.
them. they think hard about these things in NXT. They know how to tell a story.
But
because that's what I
would just like to think that Asuka is just killing her.
That's what ended up happening, and she tapped her out with the Asuka lock, which is just a crossface chicken wing, the old Bob Backlund special. And then she just for good measure killed her with a spin kick after the match.
Yeah.
And I mean killed her. She didn't move the rest until they went backstage.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a little bit heelish, but no one cared.
And they also teased it future match with Emma, and Emma's gonna be the next to die for sure.
Yep. I wonder if they'll have hospital segments or something.
No,
it should just be really
cool.
dead.
That'd be something interesting.
Like Emma will be bringing her balloons and stuff, and we'll have her own
because it doesn't matter if that's somewhat of a heel thing. The crowd's gonna love her anyway.
Yeah. So we moved into our next match. It was a short match between Tyler Breeze and Apollo Crews.
Well, it was Cruz's longest match.
Yeah, but Cruz's matches before this averaged 90 seconds.
That's a good point.
What was this, maybe a 4-minute match?
It was longer than that. It was
really?
Almost 10. You really paid attention?
Maybe I zoned out during that one. Was that at least the shortest match of the night?
I don't know. I think the first match was shorter.
Yeah, I think
Dana Brooke and Asuka were shorter.
Yeah, but I think Finn and Joe's first match was probably the shortest match of the night.
Yeah, but point of this is that Tyler Breeze, I think he needs to go to the main roster. He's great, but he's not great enough to be one of the top guys here at NXT.
That's a problem I have, however, because Tyler is super main roster ready. But as soon as he goes up to the main roster, his gimmick is gonna absolutely collapse, and Vince is gonna throw him into jobber obscurity.
It's really because of Vince, yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote in a review that I put out once that I hope he stays in NXT indefinitely.
Problem is that he doesn't win anything. He never wins.
No, he doesn't win.
He's 1 in 6 or something at takeovers.
Yeah, and he doesn't win.
I thought he actually should have won here. Just why not?
And his gimmick doesn't get over.
Have him win in a heelish. Have him win in a heelish manner.
His gimmick only gets over in NXT. I can't imagine it getting over on the main roster.
Everyone's gimmick gets over in NXT. Yeah. Same thing. You say the same thing about other guys like Ty Dillinger too. That might have some trouble too.
The difference I have about Ty Dillinger's gimmick is that it's simple.
Yeah.
And the crowd's like simple,
Vaudevillains is another one.
like simple stupid things like chanting yes to Daniel Bryan. It's easy to just chant 10 and have fun
Yeah.
whether you like him or not. Like it's just fun. Like it's just like have little kids like screaming 10.
I really
10,
don't know what
10.
they would do with Ty Dillinger. He's just kind of there.
Yeah, he's just like a physique guy. He doesn't have much
We're not
besides
in this match,
that.
but Tyler Breeze again whipped out some new moves in this match, and obviously Cruz did, and including a new finish, which was a spin out powerbomb, but he didn't actually sit down. He just dropped him.
Yeah.
And won with that. And it's kind of weird whenever someone debuts a new finish because everyone's like, "Oh, really? It's over?" Oh, because he didn't do the moonsault this time, which I think he needed a new finish anyway. I didn't like that moonsault being his finish.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the lethal combination because they cut out one, and they didn't have a name for it.
No, I mean this doesn't have a name either, but
but they wouldn't call it anything because they could easily just call it like the Cruise combination or something. I don't know, or come up with some like really really dumb like WWE name and like
Cruise
the Annihilator or like Cruise Control. They'd do something dumb. And
yeah, Cruz wins, and I would imagine they probably have another match.
Cruise Control is a good name. That's gonna be one of his finishers. Very soon.
Although he likes to talk about the Apollo Nation more than Cruz.
The Apollo Nation could just be a finisher in itself.
Well, I'm not talking about a move. I'm just saying he always talks about. He doesn't. There's never.
Yeah, like that. That could.
They
just
never
be
allude
like
to his last name. They always allude to his first. Yeah. Cruz wins, and I don't. Where do they go with Cruz next?
Probably
he's
just
be in the world title picture.
Absolutely not. They're just gonna keep doing what they've been doing with him for the past 2 months. They don't
like to do that in NXT though.
That's what they've been doing with him for the past 2 months. They're probably just that's what they did for Corbin for like 6.
Yeah, he's a little different than Corbin though. Corbin was green still, and still had to. I mean, it's a problem though. If these guys don't work long matches, then they never learn. And Corbin wrestled 30-second matches for a month, but he got better, and he was really good tonight, I thought.
Yeah.
And which leads to the next match.
Absolutely. Which would be the Dusty final for the big old Dusty Classic Trophy, due to be presented by Dusty's offspring, Cody and Dustin. And which is weird that we're like Dustin Rhodes is known for coming out not as Goldust every once in a while, but having Cody come out and be addressed as Cody Rhodes and not Stardust was interesting. But it was kind of important because if we had Dustin Rhodes and Stardust coming out,
and they also acknowledged that Eden was his wife.
Yeah, they did. And when we were watching this match, we were kind of bored in the first half because it went a little long. But Brian pointed out that they're opting for the storytelling of Finn's bum ankle.
Yeah, and he was great at selling his knee. It was a knee, I think.
Knee, yeah.
He was great at selling the knee, which other wrestlers need to take note of this because like this is how you do it. He would hit a move. He would hit moves and grab his knee in the process, or he would hobble along. He would he would use jump off of only use his good legs to jump off for stuff. This is how you sell a knee injury. And when he was really hurting, he'd try to make a tag.
Right. And but besides that, it was kind of a lackluster match. The best match of the Dusty Classic was probably the match that happened in the semifinals between Corbin and Rhino that we discussed earlier.
Praised that.
But this match kind of just fell on the in between. It wasn't better than any of the Ciampa and Gargano matches.
Not really.
I guess those matches were just really entertaining because there were no rest spots.
This was more of a story, but it didn't really lead to anything happening afterwards. Finn and Joe won with the same combination of moves, and they came out.
The Muscle Buster into the Coup de Grace.
And they came out and they gave him the trophy.
Yeah, and they came out. I gotta point out the fact that Dustin looked identical to Dusty Rhodes. With the first shot that they showed was
funny
him,
because he lost a lot of weight.
Was him hugging some woman in the ring. I don't know who it was, but so you could only see his face, and I thought it was Dusty. Dusty pulled the ultimate Dusty swerve on us. I'm still alive.
30 years older than him.
He looked like Dusty Rhodes.
And weighs like 100 more pounds.
I wasn't comparing them physically, just facially. They just looked so similar. And yeah, Cody came out too and cut a promo.
Talked about his dad.
And
Respect.
like I'm
Respect.
totally fine with Stardust, but and
Makes you want
I'm
Cody.
I'm sure Cody probably even likes being Stardust, but like seeing Cody again, I just want Cody Rhodes back because he's awesome.
I think he'll be back at some point.
Absolutely, he'll be back, but I just want him back now.
Yeah. I don't really know what you do with Stardust.
And
That was it. For
that was the second to last match.
I was
of the
really
night.
hoping for some sort of turn or something interesting happening.
Yeah,
because-
yeah, right in the very finish, we were hoping that Joe would turn on Finn.
Or even when the trophy celebrate, you don't have to always just make it the show is called Takeover Respect, but you don't have to end all these matches just with the respect thing. You can do some. You can.
I didn't even think about that. That respect was the whole theme of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that's why
makes
they
a
didn't.
lot of sense.
They didn't go with a turn.
Why there was a
this would have
bunch
been a
of,
good time. If they're both holding up the trophy and then one of them just grabs and hits the other one with it or
Right, because
something.
now Finn and Joe don't have any direction.
No.
And logically,
Their title feud is just going to be a face versus face feud.
They could. I mean, Joe can turn heel.
Or maybe Hideo's going to.
Shortly.
Maybe Hideo's going to be back soon because I heard he's going to be back soon.
When did he hurt his ankle or his knee? Or what did he hurt? It was his
Rotator
arm.
cuff or something
it was
like that?
his arm. Yeah.
I heard he'll be back this month.
Yeah. Well, he had an 8-month timeline, right?
Yeah,
It was 6 to 8 months.
That's always exaggerated though, unless it's a head injury.
So yeah, he can. If he comes back now, it'll be a little bit early, but we should probably see him by the end of the year, or maybe they're bringing back on the first NXT in the new year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so that was it with that and the Dusty Classic.
Yep.
I really don't see what are they gonna do now? Who's gonna get a title shot for the tag titles? Because the tag champs weren't even on this show.
Yeah, you're right about that. There was a lot of people left off this show. And,
well, it had to be. I mean, the main event was a half hour.
Yeah, but they did it. I mean, they extended the time by 30 minutes for the show to give it a 2.5 hour because NXT Brooklyn went over by 15 as well, and then this ended up just ending 15 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's a segue into the Bayley versus Sasha Banks 30-minute Iron Man match.
Why did they never called it an Iron Woman match?
No, they never did. The only time it was called an Iron Woman was the crowd chanted Iron Woman when it was first announced by Regal. And but it was an amazing match, of course. It absolutely stood up to its hype. And what do you think about it compared to their first encounter?
Well, the problem it's always something that hurts an Iron Man match is that the people know the finish isn't gonna. There's a set time where the finish is gonna be happen, and it's going to be a dramatic finish no matter what. So the first 15 to 20 minutes usually nothing of note happens, but obviously it's NXT, so everyone's super into it. If it was an hour Iron Man match, the first half hour just nothing happens. That's usually what the case is.
You can skip to
crowd
the last 20 minutes.
People don't really get into it because they know it's not the finish. No matter who scores pins early in the match, it's always going to come down to a climactic finish.
Go to any Iron Man match that you want to watch. Go find a highlight video and watch it, and wait until you notice a highlight that has the counter at 8 minutes left, and then go watch the rest of the match because there's nothing. It's worthy just skipping 20 minutes into or 20 to 40 minutes into a match depending on its length.
Yeah, but I love the fact that they were selling their fatigue and how tired they were.
Yeah, I'm
trying
sure,
to lift each other up to the top rope.
I'm sure they weren't
struggling.
They didn't have to sell that.
Yeah,
because they were tired.
Yeah,
they're absolutely exhausted.
Anyway, let's read some of these. Sasha must have a neck made of steel or something because this woman has taken 5. I swear to God, at least 5 bumps right on her head and has been fine, including the hip toss where she landed right on her neck.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. And you're right. She's been taking them not just tonight, but throughout. The reverse Rana at Brooklyn, she landed directly on the back of her head too.
Paige German suplexed her a few weeks ago and dropped her right on her head.
Yeah. But that's also why she's a selling machine. We watch her get destroyed in matches and think it's awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
That's
she's a good seller.
She's willing to just take the bump.
I'm gonna read
Tough girl.
Some of this. how the match played out.
Go for it.
Oh, well, Sasha, this was a unique spot. They somehow managed to get the ref in the corner, and then Sasha backed the ref, like, put her back against the ref, poked at Bayley's eye, and rolled her up. That was the first fall.
Right. And, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, you don't see that she, to guard the ref with her own body. The ref wasn't distracted by outside interference or, like, a foreign object. To block it with her own body so they can't see.
That's cool.
And so that would put Sasha up 1-0. And this I thought was kind of weird. Bayley to belly tied it up, or Bayley tied it with her Bayley to belly. And I thought, like, that's lame that she can just hit her finisher like 10 minutes in. And you know, it might be tied 1-1, but who's taking more abuse in the match when one of the falls is a finisher and the other one was a roll up? Yeah. Like, someone clearly has the advantage.
Yeah, I thought
here.
maybe they should have used that, because they ended up using a roll up for the second fall for Bayley. I thought maybe that should have been the Bayley to belly, and this one should have been the roll up. Just because, you know, because otherwise then you'd have Sasha getting pinned. Like, if this was a normal match, Sasha would not have gotten pinned in less than 10 minutes.
She kicked out of a Bayley to belly.
On the floor. She gave her Bayley to belly on the floor. Yeah. Rolled her in the match. Out.
And she also kicked out of just from a standards match point of view. She kicked out of a Bayley to belly at Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone kicks out of it at least once.
In a big match.
In a big match, yes.
I don't think Billie Kay is gonna kick out of one.
They got out of the ring. Eventually, they were fighting outside the ring, and Sasha ran her all the way up and threw her into the whatever it is that was up there.
It was like it wasn't the soundboard. It was just like the light board.
Yeah. And that resulted in a count out.
And that resulted all the lights, all the trons in the arena went out.
And that made it 2-1, and then that also upset Izzy to the point that she was crying.
Yeah, it did. Poor Izzy was had to be held by her father after that one.
Consoled.
Yeah, her father was consoling her. 10-year-old Izzy.
She couldn't believe it.
Still brought the tears by a match.
Yeah.
That's something
I was
that you
surprised.
like to see.
I actually was thinking for a second they might actually play her into the finish of this match somehow.
But
like have her run in.
I thought about that, but that would also kill the magic of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because to be let in on a work.
Yeah. No.
So then now she's like,
Bayley has let her in the ring before.
A work for her. Yeah, but that's just her filling out her
being super
fulfilling
nice.
her dreams of being able to run around in a ring with her idol.
Then after a few, she had her in a Boston Crab, and Bayley turned it into a Hurricane Rana, which tied it at 2. So
you know what? Wait. If Izzy ran in and broke up a pin, would that DQ end the match? It's a 60 minutes or 30 minutes. You can't stop.
It would probably be a win for Sasha.
Right, if she broke up like a Sasha.
Although the referee would probably let it go because it's a 10-year-old.
Maybe. I mean, what are you gonna do?
They were fighting over by the stairs for a while at this point.
Yeah.
After Sasha landed on her neck again.
Yeah, but they're doing that for like pops because Bayley's parents were right there sitting next to Izzy and her family, and so they had Bayley's, I believe, her grandfather and her mother there. So they had a bunch of spots between Sasha and Bayley right there. Was it Bayley being thrown into the stairs?
Yeah.
Right in front of Sasha being Bayley to belly on the floor.
Well, she went for a suicide dive.
Yeah, suicide
and
dive.
Bayley grabbed her and gave her belly to belly right on the floor. Unfortunately, she's not Big E and can't just grab her right out of the sky.
Right.
It kind of stumbled a little bit, but it still looked cool.
And then there's like Bayley running on the stairs. Was she also drop kicked into the stairs?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
I remember her laying up against
30 minutes.
Laying up against the stairs. I'm just not sure how Sasha put her there.
Well, yeah. So they eventually go up, and of course, playing off their last match, go up for the reverse Super Rana off the top, and somehow Sasha manages to kind of land on her feet, though not really. But
what did she expect? She came off that top rope with such like speed and velocity. Well, I'm surprised she didn't like hyperextend the knee when she landed. So then she ended up just kind of falling on her butt.
On her knees, but
it would be incredible if she landed on her feet.
Somehow Sasha ended up hitting a Bayley to belly though in there.
Yeah, it was kind of sloppily done, but it didn't really matter.
Well, no, what happened
sloppy on Bayley's side.
What happened was Bayley thought she'd hit the move and was like
She was doing the stuff with her
She
with her headbands and stuff.
tightened her headband and was ready to go for the belly to belly, and then when she turned around, Sasha was standing like, "Nope, you're getting one."
Yeah.
And then immediately after she kicked out, she put in the bank statement, which was awesome. But this was with 2 minutes left, and I thought, at this point, you're like, "Oh, she's gonna hold on to this for 2 minutes, and they're gonna go into overtime." But they eventually do the rollout spot that they did at Takeover. Again, a lot of playing off other matches, which I always like, and they made it look like Bayley was going to put her in the bank statement, but she grabbed her and put it right back in it again, till about 40 seconds left, until
Sasha went for the backbreaker into the bank statement.
Well, I believe she might have gotten the ropes. I don't remember, but somehow they ended up back on their feet. And Sasha tried to do the backbreaker. She hit the backbreaker.
But in going towards the bank statement, Bayley counters out into some weird submission.
You know, I remember
she locked it originally as a label lock, but by the end of it, she just had her arm fully extended.
She grabbed the label lock and then grabbed the other arm and did like an arm bar.
Yeah, I remember. Weird. I'm seeing this as like she goes for like a label lock, and then she turns it. She grabs like a Batista bite style where she pulls the arm back.
But then she did a full-on arm bar.
But then by the end of it, the arm that was label locked was fully extended, so the label lock was out.
Yeah,
and so now she just had two arms back, like held completely backwards. So I don't know what to call it.
It looked like freaking.
It was like maybe a double arm bar. Both of them were being arm bar.
I'm almost certain I've seen Zema Ion do that submission a few times way back in TNA 2012. But
I wonder what it's called.
Yeah, reverse arm bar.
Anyway,
arm lock, reverse omoplata or something like that. That's the name of that arm lock that Daniel Bryan used.
Anyway, it resulted in Sasha Banks tapping out.
With about 3 seconds left.
It was about 3 seconds left, and or nodding her head. She couldn't tap. Both of her arms were held back or restrained.
Which actually, looking back at it, makes sense because because I was comparing it to Cena and Orton, and the difference there is that Cena's STF sucks. So it doesn't. Right. It didn't look like it was hurting Orton that much. Like Orton could have easily held on.
Was he using like a chain?
No, that was an I Quit. That was an I Quit match. Yeah,
well, so imagine that. You mean he tapped after 2 minutes of being in a poorly applied
50
STF?
seconds. Yeah, he tapped out with like 5 seconds left with a poorly applied STF. But the difference here is that this move literally looked like her arm was.
What's funny about like submission finishes to Iron Man matches too?
This was Bayley's first time doing this move.
All pinfalls and submissions in Iron Man matches, then the clock stops and they recuperate. But whenever like it ends with like 5 to 10 seconds or less, the time just runs off.
It's kind of impossible to get a pin. And you have to roll the guy up, and then 3 seconds have to come.
I have to stand against that because at Survivor Series '98,
The Rock and Big
Bossman's match was exactly 3 seconds.
That was true. The bell rang, and they already had a small package.
Yeah, so you can get a pin in 3 seconds. That must be the shortest match of all time, because you need unless the only way that a match could ever be shorter is if someone puts in like a really quick submission, one that can be applied in only 1 to 2 seconds, and they pull a Divas spot where they just tap as like before it's even fully locked in.
Oh my god, I hate when they do that.
Like when like Natalia will like roll over a sharpshooter, and as soon as they roll onto their belly, they tap. Or something.
We gotta wrap this up. So, yeah, Bayley won, keeps her title, and they brought out the entire
NXT locker room
on the stage, and Triple H, Stephanie were out. The four Lita, Trish, Lita, Stephanie, Charlotte, and Becky were all sitting there at ringside for this, and they gave them flowers.
Yeah.
Which was tying into the respect thing and the whole Dusty thing. And yeah, that was the end of the show. I actually thought that they were gonna bring Nia Jax out here.
Yeah, or
to
maybe
just kill James
Nia
Storm.
Jax to kill her, or James Storm to give a good super kick to someone.
No, that would. James Storm is going to be here eventually. There's no reason he was there. There has to be a reason why he was there.
Yeah, I don't know why he was at the event. That would only allude to
he's not as big a name as Samoa Joe. Like Samoa Joe could have just walked in and come in immediately have gone out. Maybe they thought they would build it up because there's no way his name is going to be James Storm.
Yeah, they probably won't keep it as James Storm.
Yeah. But
They probably also won't even make him a redneck.
Nia Jax has to be on like the next they should have Bayley come out for a promo and then have her because I think that's what they're gonna do.
If I see another week of Nia Jax's vignette coming soon, she's gonna start to enter.
Greatness is my destiny.
It's gonna start entering Glacier territory.
Yes.
Where it's gonna end up being
or
like
Brodus Clay.
4 months. I think Glacier was about 6 months before he debuted, 6 to 8. How long? Brodus Clay was like 4.
Brodus Clay was like, it was 2 months every week, just them airing, and it eventually had an awesome payoff with him debuting as the Funkasaurus. But what if they did that with her? Like she came out and
vignettes weren't
dancing?
him as a Funkasaurus, right?
No, not at all.
Were they the serious NXT?
Serious heel,
Brodus?
like gonna kill you, Brodus Clay, and then he just came out as the Funkasaurus.
So they just kind of like threw it out the window. And
they
like,
even had said at
what?
one point debuting next week, and he didn't debut on that show. But yeah, they might have actually. We weren't paying attention. They might have actually put on the screen like Nia Jax next week or something like that.
Did she have I don't think she had a vignette this week.
She did
on this. Did she?
Yeah.
Did it say coming soon?
I don't remember. Yeah, it said. I don't remember if it could have said next week on it. I didn't see anything on that.
I always hate the coming soon.
I really hope that
should be like on the first 2 vignettes, and then it should.
I don't know
like,
anything about this.
To debut in a month, or like next month.
Yeah,
Nia Jax.
That's why I loved what they did with Neville. They aired a vignette. It's like, oh yay, 3 weeks of Neville vignettes. Oh wait, he comes out in the next segment. Like that was great. I really hope this Nia Jax is actually a good worker and is not like Havoc, where she just lumbers around the ring and can't really do anything. I mean, it's gonna be her feuding with Bayley is gonna be great because it works for the underdog type of deal.
Well,
because
she
huge
feuds with Bayley.
Yeah, I really think that's what they. Because who else are they gonna?
But that's also a problem that they always end up doing, where someone that's like big and menacing, they hot shot right to the top.
Yeah, but
and then they like.
What else are you gonna do?
Fail and.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be Eva Marie. It's not gonna be Carmella.
Oh yeah, I don't know about Eva Marie. After every match, she says she's going for the title.
No, come on now. She
gives the Aaron Rodgers discount double
check.
They're
I think they're starting to see through her, because otherwise they probably would have already had teased something with her and Bayley at this point.
Yeah,
maybe not, but they have to know that she's not getting much better in the ring.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not gonna be Billie Kay or Peyton Royce.
Yeah, they got.
And it's not gonna be Dana or Emma.
They got like 2 years before they're ready.
And Asuka's still got Asuka just came in as a huge face, so I don't know how
they've already decided.
So
not
yeah,
to
that leaves Nia Jax.
Because they've decided not to hot shot her. That they're just gonna have her running with Dana and Emma for a while.
Yeah, so
and then wherever
they hot shotted her in hard as far as her making her debut.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we signed her. Oh, by the way, she's debuting in like a week.
Well, because the Nia Jax vignettes have been going on since the last Takeover.
Yeah, I think Takeover was the first vignette of her.
Yeah.
So that's like almost 2 months.
Yeah.
We got like 10 or so days.
All right, so we gotta wrap this up. So this was, of course, a very good show. All NXT shows, of course, are great. The next one will be in London. There's been a lot of reports that Regal may be coming out of retirement for a match on this show.
Probably against Tyler Breeze.
I mean, that would make sense.
Tyler Breeze the past
Tyler
2 shows.
Breeze is going to lose again, isn't he?
The last 2 shows, Tyler Breeze has asked, or like last 2 of big events, has asked for like a like an opportunity from Regal, and Regal's been like, "Oh, I got you one," and he gave him Jushin Thunder Liger, and then he gave him Bullfit, which was awesome for the tournament.
Yeah,
and so maybe her come to him like, I want something great for England, and then or for like our show in Europe, and he's gonna be like, oh, I got one. Me, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was NXT Takeover Respect. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.